Welcome back. If you've only just joined us, you're watching the Daily Roundup with Nina here on NBC One. In celebration of World Breastfeeding Week, we're honored to welcome Annamie Higgs to the show. Annamie is a registered nurse and a passionate advocate for breastfeeding. Now, her work not only focuses on the health benefits of breastfeeding, but also on educating communities and breaking down the social and emotional barriers that many mothers face. As we observe this important week, we'll be diving into the realities of breastfeeding, its challenges, its joys, and why sustained support for breastfeeding is essential for both babies and mothers. Annamie, good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, of course, starting with Breastfeeding Week, and we know what the theme is this year. We'll get into it in just a bit. But tell us why, World Breastfeeding Week is so important to you as a nurse and also as an advocate.
Knowing all the benefits and advantages of breastfeeding a toddler, a baby and a toddler, gives us a platform in such week to get the true information out there for the mummies that wants to breastfeed, or the mummies that already started, for the supporters, but also for the people at the workplace. Because we need to get more mummies to breastfeed their babies, because the importance of it is not only for the baby or for the toddler, but it's actually investing in the adulthood as well.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit more about why breastfeeding is considered, such a crucial foundation for infant as well as maternal health.
Well, we talk about the first 1,000 days of a baby, which is the most important. Yes, the first 1,000 days. And that's close to 2 years that we want to encourage mummies to exclusively breastfeed. I know it's very challenging, especially when it comes to mummies going back to work. And that's why we want to get the correct information out there. If we say the advantages of breastfeed is not only for the babies itself, it's for the mummies also. So, but if I can name a few, it's like it is proof that the IQ of the babies that's exclusive breastfeed is higher. So there's more grey matter, which actually make them more clever. It's obviously not only cost effective, but it's also help for the baby's immunity. It gives us a healthier community where, because there's a passive transmission of antibodies, especially with the colostrum, that first days of mummy breastfeeding. So then we see there's less cardiovascular diseases, there's less type 2 diabetes, there's less obesity, we see less allergies. It helps with the speech, promotes speech. So it helps with the development of the teeth. So there's a lot of advantages for baby. And the new word on everybody's lips now is the microbiome, which is the gut flora. So it is proven that babies that's breastfed also have a healthier gut. And we always say a healthy gut, a healthy child.
100%.
And it's, so we already give the baby that advantage when we breastfeed them, to give a healthy gut, helping them to be obviously protect them against the diseases.
Yeah, fantastic. I don't know if in 2025 there's still, stigma or misconceptions about breastfeeding. You would know better. But what are some of the biggest misconceptions and stigmas when it comes to breastfeeding that you frequently encounter?
Yeah, it is actually funny because some of the youngsters, they would come to me and say, but they don't want to breastfeed because it might change the shape of their breasts. So that's one of the misconceptions, I think. And then also there's a lot of old tales on preparing your nipples, for instance. So shame. Some of the mummies comes to a hospital for delivery and then the poor nipples are already cracked. So that, was, I think, like I said, the old tales of why you should not breastfeed. But like I said, I do find a lot of advantage in I'm doing antenatal classes. And when I tell mummies, as well as their partners, about the benefits of breastfeeding, it's tough. Maybe you're a mom as well. Breastfeeding is hard work. So
it's surprising that everybody thinks it's so easy.
It's not that easy, sorry. So you need to know that beforehand, why I want to breastfeed. What is the advantages? And then, like I said, it's not only for the baby, just to mention, for mummy, just after delivery, if we put the baby on the breast, there's a hormone oxytocin that's released that also then help to stop the bleeding for mummy. So it then helps to shrink the uterus, and that stopped the bleeding. It's also proven that if you breastfeed, your chances for breast cancer is less. It also protects us against osteoporosis. So there's benefits for mommy in that as well. So yes, stigmas like I can't breastfeed because I'm HIV positive. If you're on antiretroviral treatment and you follow up by your doctor, there's no way that you don't have to breastfeed. You can exclusive breastfeed as well. You need to obviously just go for your checkups regularly. I think that's most of the misconceptions that I do see.
I don't know if, I think, just correct me also, that recently I saw an article where for the Commerce region, mother-to-child transmission for HIV is at 0%. Is that correct?
It's definitely. So, I mean, that's good news.
Yeah,
definitely good news.
Of course. How can we better support moms, Annamie, who struggle with breastfeeding, either when it comes to, the physical aspect that you've touched on just now, or even emotionally?
Yeah, I just know, being a mum myself is after delivery, I mean, the hormones is like an haywire. So there's nothing that prepares you on that very little sleep that you get. And I think a lot of my mummies are also overwhelmed with all the knowledge out there on social media, and then Dr. Google, and everyone's like saying, do this, do that, eat this, eat that. So I would think for supporters, obviously just maybe before delivery, make sure that you know what to tell mommy. And I'm actually encouraging my mummies, choose two people, maybe a healthcare professional and then someone in the family that you trust, or a friend that's close to you. Yeah. And because I know in our culture we want to help, but by helping, we sometimes, you mustn't do this or you mustn't do, and that stress mommy totally. And emotionally, it's actually, it's incredible, because I need to watch out for my mummies for postnatal depression as well afterwards. You do get little sleep. And breastfeeding is like, and it feels like that's what all you do the whole day, because you just finished and you have to start all over again.
Yes. I also want to know, what role should, partners, families, or even those in the workplaces play when it comes to encouraging and supporting, breastfeeding moms? Yeah.
So I would say for family, if it's possible, if you can help mommy with the household, for her to really take time off, see that she actually at least have one proper meal a day. We would love her to have 3 meals a day, but to eat properly, to prepare the food. If someone maybe can just assist in preparing the food and see that the rest of the household goes on. Because mummies need to sleep in order for prolactin to be released, which is the hormone that helps with the production of milk. So if you're not sleeping properly, you're going to struggle with your milk supply. And then obviously see that mummy have enough clean. You can mix everything, but if you don't add water, you're not going to have enough breast milk. That's some of the support. And if mommy can't go out by herself, maybe if someone can take her once a week to the clinic for a regular checkup, for baby weighing and seeing that baby's gaining weight, because that also stresses mommy quite a lot. That's actually one of the only things you think about is my baby getting fed. If it's, is it enough milk? Did he have enough food? That's some of the support, I would say.
Yeah, fantastic. Are there any policies, Annamie, that you think, or even support structures within Namibia or the region that you feel still needs, some strengthening to support breastfeeding more effectively?
I would say yes, for sure. All the primary health clinics out there, even the hospitals, if we could say, for instance, yes, take time out now with breastfeeding week, but to make an effort to ensure that when mummy is discharged, that baby latched properly, because that's one of the biggest problems. If you've got a sore nipple and it keep on getting a lot of time, usually I just need to show mommy once how to latch properly, and she feels the difference. And next week when she come back for weighing, baby's already gaining enough weight and mummy's on her way out. And then, I mean, I think the benefit for me then is to see that mummies that actually didn't want to breastfeed, they're now up to 1 year already in the game. So I would say that if we can strengthen the clinics and the hospitals to have the staff properly trained on how to latch the baby and to encourage mummies to come back on a weekly basis to weigh baby and to see that baby is latching properly and that mummy is okay. Because I need to take time for mummy and baby while we're in the process of breastfeeding.
I want to circle back to what you said right in the beginning of our conversation on the importance of the first 1,000 days.
Yes.
And of course, as you mentioned, there's a lot of mummies that work, that have obligations, you know, have to do things. So unfortunately, they don't breastfeed until 2 years old. But other than, you know, the 2 year mark, what else is acceptable? You know, is 10 months, 1 year also good?
I would say every month that you can go is advantage for baby. It is difficult in a society where there's not enough support. I usually say I don't like to go and breastfeed my baby on a toilet seat. But there's no place in the malls for breastfed mummies. And I want to acknowledge, I'm working at a clinic in Standard Bank, Namibia, and they, one of the first companies that I've actually seen, that they now recently invented a breastfeeding room for mummies to express. I'm so proud of them. I said, we need to take this to the papers. I need to challenge all the other companies out there that mummies, unfortunately, we only have 3 months maternity leave and then they need to go back to work.
Yeah.
Yes, you can express breast milk. Yes, you can have a supply at home because you can keep breast milk for 6 months in the fridge. But not all of us do have enough breast milk to get that supply. So my mummies still need to go to work and express, and how better support we can give by giving them a room that's actually specifically for them.
Yeah.
So yes, hats off for Standard Bank, and I want to challenge all the other companies out there. See, look after your mummies, and I just think we're going to create a healthier, more clever generation if we can get mummies to breastfeed their babies.
That's fantastic to know.
Yes.
Annamie, what advice would you give to, you know, a first-time mother who feels, you know, overwhelmed or unsure about breastfeeding?
Yes, I think if you dig into the benefits, like I said to now, knowing that this is not only for now. Yes, we talk about the first 1,000 days, but that's the foundation. That's the building block for adulthood. And if you really know that's what I give to my baby, I also want to encourage the supporters. You know, we sometimes need to encourage mummy also and just, you know, give her a hug and say thank you for doing what you're doing. Because like I said, it's hard work, you know, it's easy to say keep on breastfeeding. It's really hard work.
Yeah.
But knowing that it's an investment for adulthood, it's an investment for my child's life. So if there's a young mummy out there and she's really scared of the whole idea of breastfeeding, I always also mention to my mummies, it's actually a natural thing. We sometimes want to add frillikies and fallikies, like I said, to something that's actually natural. Yeah. Yes, you need to have support and making sure that baby latched properly. And yes, obviously, because you're not measure it in a bottle, you won't know it's a 60 ml or a 90 ml. But that's why you need to weigh weekly to see that baby is gaining weight. Yeah. Yes, and yeah, unfortunately, we can't do this alone. Yeah. We need support.
Yeah. You mentioned, of course, one of the challenges with breastfeeding is not producing enough breast milk, and I know that mummies do different things to be able to do that. I know there's like a jungle juice
and all those things. Yes.
But outside of, you know, seeing a professional, a lactation consultant, etc., which not everybody has access to, what is there that a mummy at home can do to improve her breast supply?
Like I said, you need to obviously sleep.
Yes.
Rest is not negotiable. Sleep to have your hormone prolactin release, and then drink enough water. I would say then also, if you stress about your milk production, it's also going to get less. Yeah. We don't like stress milk. I always joke, say, rather have your bonus lie than stress, because it also causes discomfort for baby. But yeah, seek help and be careful for all the different ideas out there. But your I know that they sometimes say the hops. I don't want them to go out now and have beers.
Yeah.
but if you can get, there's some hops teas or that's more of the natural stuff that you can take to increase your milk supply. And what I always tell my mummies is very important is to have a healthy, balanced meal. Obviously what's going to cause you gas is going to give baby gas, but...
Is that a fact or myth?
It's a fact. It's a fact. Remember now, if you take, for instance, I say, your cauliflower or cabbage,
yes.
it's going to cause you some gas.
Yes.
So it's obviously going to cause baby gas as well. But we don't take away everything. We would rather take less of it, of the type of food, but we will introduce later again. Okay, so but I do have my mummies end up only eating pumpkin and potato. That's not a healthy, balanced diet.
Yes.
Okay, so we will take you and say, okay, now I see now that I had something, baby was like and crying. I was like, okay, but maybe it's just a coincidence. So take 8 hours back, what did I eat? I had some watermelon. Okay, maybe try it tomorrow again. If baby then starts crying later on again, then okay, let me just cut back on that. But the dietitians will also tell you it's better to have a proper balanced meal so that you have enough to give.
Annamie, it was lovely having you here with us this evening. Thank you so much for being with us. And we actually will, in honor of World Breastfeeding Week, speak about the postpartum aspect as well.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be engaging some of your colleagues later on in the week as well to continue speaking about this.
Yes, and I want to say I'm very proud of each mommy out there that tries. And even if it was only for 3 months, at least you had something. And mummies that does not have the ability to give milk, we do have a milk bank, so they can actually just ask about the milk bank, so that there is mummies that donate. And if you are a mummy that have more than enough milk, please donate.
Yes. Annamie, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Nina.
Well, that was Annamie Higgs, registered nurse and advocate for breastfeeding, speaking to us today in honor of World Breastfeeding Week.